On-camera flash versus off-camera flash. Now, everybody knows that if you want to get a little bit more creative control in your photos, you should add some sort of lighting to your photos. However, I feel like flash has this kind of taboo thing going on where people think that it is too harsh or amateur looking. However, there's plenty of editorial, fashion, portrait photographers who use strobe lights, both on camera and off camera, to create stunning images and bring mood into their photos. So in today's video, we will be talking about on-camera flash and off-camera flash. And the main difference here is the direction of light. So let's talk about it. Now let's start off with our first setup of the day, which I am thinking to do right here. Now the reason why I want to do that is because, for one, we have the sun behind us, which is one of the most important things about flash photography, is knowing what your light is doing. Are you filling in those shadows or are you adding to them, right? My thinking is we're going to place our model here, have the sun behind her, and flash both of these lights onto the model to kind of fill in those shadows that are going to be created in her face. Now let's start off with on-camera flash. Now the biggest thing about on-camera flash is the direction of the light, because it follows the lens. Light hits the subject directly on, creates a more direct, almost snapshot feeling, which means less shadows, which also sometimes means less depth, which can look a little bit flatter in the final photo. Now the advantages to on-camera flash are that it is fast, it's portable, it's easy to use, and it's great for things like events, weddings, street photography, party photos, documentary style portraits. It really comes down to the creative side and how you use this flash. Direct flash can actually be a style choice. There's a lot of extremely talented photographers and fashion photographers who embrace the direct flash look as an aesthetic, and sometimes those imperfections or flatter images can make something feel more energetic. The nice thing about where we're at is that we have the light behind our subject, which is just kind of giving that rim light to the hair, and we're just filling in with the flash. So if you have the flash too close to your model, you will create this awful spread of light that maybe doesn't hit some parts of the body. Now, if you stand too far back, the light's not going to be powerful enough to really do anything. So you kind of have to find that nice in between. Now, if you do have a stronger off-camera flash, you can get away with being a little further away than an on-camera flash. So now we have the flash here set at almost the lowest setting. And like I said, we're keeping about 4 feet away from the model just so we can get that nice fill without completely overtaking the image. And we still get all of the background still exposed correctly. So now we're switching over to the off-camera flash, which obviously means more direction, more control over your subject and where the light is landing. So obviously the first thing about off-camera flash portraits is that the direction of light completely changes. And what that does is create dimensions in your subject. So shadows give the face a shape, and you gain control over highlights, shadows, mood, depth. And as you change the direction of the light too, you'll notice how the shadows kind of fall on the model's face. Now, some of the basic positioning that you can do with an off-camera flash are 45-degree angle lighting, side lighting, overhead lighting, and then backlighting / rim lighting. As you can see here, I'm taking a bunch of different photos, just moving my arms around with the light, and basically you can see that with every slight movement, it just completely changes the way that the lights and the shadows fall on the model's face, which is great for whenever you're just trying to test out different things, see what works, see what doesn't. All right, so now we have a softbox modifier that I want to add to our light right here. This is our off-camera light. So I'm going to show you what it looks like without the softbox first. And then this is what it looks like with the softbox. So as you can see, using this kind of flash is way easier than the other one because it's not as much work on your hands. You can literally just tape this on. However, the photos are completely different. I think in this case, the off-camera flash looks a lot better than the on-camera flash. So, you know, it's all about choosing circumstances that work for the type of flash and photo that you want to take. So an on-camera flash is actually really interesting because it also affects your background. You have no option to move it. So wherever your lens is looking, that's where the flash is going to be falling. And so your subject is as much part of the image as the background is. So we're going to show you how the photo looks right here. We're going to have you actually maybe a little bit of an angle, and we're going to shoot it this way. And now the flash starts making a lot more sense because the background is far enough where the flash is not completely affecting it, and we're still getting our subject to look like the main subject of the image. So now we're going to switch over to the off-camera flash to show you the difference in how that works. And what this is going to do is basically just create a harsher directional light, especially without the modifier, that's going to basically spread all the way from our model, casting a shadow on the background. Once again, if you don't want that look, you can always just move your model. But I'm going to show you what it looks like with this straight on shot, like with the on-camera flash. So now we're gonna move our subject a little bit off the wall to show you how that actually affects the background like we did with the on-camera flash. And now it also helps that we have some light in the back from the sun over there by the Met. That's gonna add a little bit of light to that background that otherwise would have been completely dark if we were not shooting with it. The cool thing about using these off-camera flashes too is that you can get a lot of light out of them. There's a lot of power output. So you can have your model all the way back there and still get them lit up perfectly and even get a little bit of a dramatic look, kind of fashion, high fashion editorial, cutting edge kind of thing with just one light. All right, so now let's talk about the evoking feeling of an on-camera flash, because unlike the off-camera flash, this has a very specific vibe. Now, and one of my favorite things about this is the way that the photos feel. They have almost this nostalgic look to them, almost digital cam kind of look. Another way to really explain the feeling of these photos is kind of in your face. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of brands are using on-camera flash to shoot their campaigns. I do think that there's a difference in how you use this flash. If you use this flash when you're maybe in your house at a house party, it has that nostalgic 90s vibe. But if you're out in a grand landscape and you're just taking photos of product or people, it can really make it feel really dramatic, just like the off-camera flash. So there are some dramatic, moody feelings that an on-camera flash can bring. It just depends a lot on your location and how you're using it. So now let's talk a little bit about off-camera flash, because while it does evoke a different feeling, a little bit of moodiness, and that's created through the shadows on the face, through the direction of light, all those things can really create a mood in your photo. However, the thing about off-camera flash is that you sometimes might need help or a light stand that you can place the light on. Because as you can tell from all of the B-roll that we've been showing you, I'm pretty much just extending my arm as far as possible. I can't go that far. My wingspan's not that good. So if you really want to create distance from your model and really get creative with the flash, you have to either lay it on the ground or post it up somewhere, lean it up against something, or you'll need a light stand. But the cool thing about them, especially if they're small like this Pro Photo one, is that you can take them anywhere. It's just a little bit more work because it's a little bit more creative thinking. At the end of the day, whether you choose on-camera flash or off-camera flash, it doesn't really matter. What matters is direction and light and what you want to do with your photos. Do you want to go more editorial? Do you want to have more freedom with your light? Do you want to have more power with your light? Then maybe get the off-camera flash. If you want to get something that's simple, easy to put in your bag, you like to do editorials out on the street, you like to just have something that is always consistent and always on you, then I would definitely do the on-camera flash. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Juan Pablo, and as always, we will catch you next time.